Number 10 goes to Gwen. Yeah, I don't think I need to explain much about this. She is a universally liked character in the Total Drama fanbase. She was amazing in Island, trash in action, okay in World Tour, and she was probably she was the second best she's ever been in All Stars. Yeah, I'm honestly just trying to finish Pogtail, then I'll watch All Stars to make Total Drama All Stars my way. Okay, keep in mind the fact that after Island, where she was a finalist, Gwen only made merge one singular time afterwards, only once after Island. That's kind of why she's this low on the list. I also where on earth was proof that you wanted to be friends with Courtney after you pretty much flipped her off after getting eliminated from World Tour? You hated her guts, and yet 2 seasons later, you were like, oh, I want to be friends with her again. That is just a bullcrap excuse to make everyone try and hate Duncan. And, okay, Duncan's not the best person in the world morally, but hey, you shouldn't, deserve that. Honestly, All Stars was a crappy season, and it's another reason why Gwen is this low on the list. It's just how the writers wrote her personally, in my book, which is why she's this low. She only made it to merge in Island and All Stars, and if you're going to make her a finalist, at least make her have made it to merge more than twice. At least have had her make it to merge in World Tour or something. Action I get. Okay, we're moving on because I'm done ranting. Number 9 is Courtney. I know some people are gonna get mad at me for having Courtney higher than Gwen, but at least the way she was written out by the writers, it at least made sense for her. What did make sense was Gwen's development, but right now we're not talking about Gwen, we're talking about Courtney. Yeah, she was okay. She was the best. She was morally the best in Island, but she just got worse and worse afterwards. I'm questioning why on earth you were willing to sell out the only dude who would date you after people seeing how you were in action and World Tour. I'm questioning why you're willing to sell out the only dude who would date you just for the million. And the girl who worked her hardest to try to earn your friendship again. That is just... Who does that? That honestly is why it brings her down for me. Apart from the fact she's an antagonist, I know people are supposed to love to hate the antagonist, but personally in action, I just hated Courtney. She was the worst person I would have ever met back then. But because I rewatched all the seasons in order, I get why she did what she did and how things played out. Which is why she's not number 10 or not even in the list. I give Courtney number 9 because her character development was good, way better than Gwen's, and personally, I think she should have made merge at least in Island, or at least have come back, because the way she was eliminated was unfair. Okay, moving on to number 8. Yeah, moving on to number 8 is Shawn. Shawn was a really good character. Him, along with Jasmine and their relationship, was the only reason I was able to tolerate Pacatao Island. The only reason I was able to watch past Jasmine's elimination was because I remember what was going to happen, and also, the season was almost over, so it was I can't stop watching when I'm at the final 3. So, yeah, Shawn's a pretty good character overall. I know some people dislike him because of his zombie fear, but that honestly made his character more interesting to watch. I like how he had great survival skills because of his fear of the dead, well, undead. And I also like how he was even able to put his life on the line for Jasmine and even conquer his fear of zombies. Also, can I just say that I felt so happy to see someone finally beat the crap out of Chris after all he did to the characters. Don't get me wrong, Chris is one of my favorites still. Couldn't make it on the list, but yeah. So overall, Shawn's a really great character. One of the few reasons I was able to actually tolerate Pacatao Island as a season. And I hope we get to see him in like more seasons and stuff. And when I do make Total Drama My Ways based on your suggestions, I hope I see his name a lot. Keep in mind, after I do that, if I don't get requests to do Redonkulous Race, yeah, when I do that, I'm only going to make the My Ways based off my bias and the concept of the season, pretty much. Moving on to number 7. Yeah, number 7 is Dawn. Quick disclaimer to the fact that after this, the rest of the entries are going to be Gen 1 characters because the Gen 1 cast, we spent the longest time with them and they were honestly the most popular. I can't think of anyone right now whose favorite Total Drama character isn't from Gen 1. Anyway, Dawn was an amazing person overall, and I really liked the fact she could read auras, and I thought it could have played a much more role in Revenge of the Island, like a much more bigger role. They gave her the early boot, which honestly didn't sit right with me because of how Scott, screwed her over. That's kind of the reason he's not on this list, but meh. But getting back to that, Dawn is a pretty great character. Her personality was fun to watch, and I kind of hope she was an All-Stars to get a revenge on Scott. This one was shorter than I thought it'd be, maybe because we haven't seen much of Dawn. She's still one of my favorites though, and I do hope we get to see her again soon. So moving on to number 6, and all of them will be Gen 1s as a quick reminder. Number 6 is Lindsay. Kind of like with Gwen, she is a universally liked character within the Total Drama fanbase, but I do feel the need to explain why I like Lindsay so much, as before when looking back at my top 10 list previously, like at least 2 or 1 year back, or a year and a half, Lindsay wasn't even on my top 10. She was like top 30, I think. And not farther than that, though. The reason why I think Lindsay has really grown, in my opinion, is because, before when I just watched Island, because I didn't realize there were other seasons, I was thinking, oh my god, why is Lindsay such a one-trick pony? The fact she was always so dim-witted honestly really was annoying me. Don't get me wrong, I didn't hate her guts, but I thought she was just a one-trick pony. Then when I realized there were other seasons and I watched them, Lindsay started to grow on me more. Especially in action, which is why I had her win the whole thing in Total Drama Action My Way. She grew on me. She showed me she wasn't a one-trick pony. Honestly, the reason that Lindsay wasn't in my top 10 before was because, unlike other Total Drama characters, she didn't break the stereotype that she was assigned to, like how everyone else did. Yeah, when Lindsay broke the stereotype, I was thinking, oh my, yes. Another reason I enjoy her so much is because of her fun, bubbly, adorable personality, which I think anyone liked to watch. So, yeah, this is a bit short, but okay, we're moving on now because I'm done explaining. It's the same thing over and over again. So, my number 5 spot is Tyler. If you've seen my Total Drama World Tour My Way, you know I see Tyler as a very enjoyable character, and if you've watched the show, you know I have more than enough reason to put him this high on the list. The reason he doesn't make it any higher, though, is because he doesn't get enough screen time to show, too much development. He learned to stand up for himself, and he learned how to, defend himself against manipulation, sort of. His after World Tour. Or maybe Island? I'm not sure. It's been a while since I've seen Gen 1 because of what I've been working on. So, yeah. That's kind of why Tyler doesn't make it too high on the list, but he still earns the top 5 spot. He's honestly a really fun character to watch, and I'd love to see more of him. The fact he got booted this early in World Tour really annoys me. And another reason Tyler's one of my favorite Total Drama characters, he's not my absolute favorite, is because we share a similar color scheme if you're looking at the hoodie I'm wearing. So, that mixed with Tyler's funny personality, his funny moments in the show, and who he was overall as a character, puts him at this number 5 spot. And moving on to number 4. Weird enough, I mentioned Alejandro in Tyler's entry, and he's actually who's next up on the list. Alejandro was a really enjoyable character in World Tour, but he really got down for me after All Stars because of how he was eliminated. Like, this dude was able to evade anything back in World Tour, but he loses to a freaking skinny guy who has multiple personalities. Nothing against mental issues, just saying. Dude, if someone's been acting strange and you know they have a mental issue that makes them act weird because of, like, multiple personality disorder, surely something should poke in your head, at least, right? And also, I kind of like how, because Alejandro was the one person who could do what Heather did better, I liked how it pushed her to be a better competitor and to play stronger and smarter, rather than just hoping to get her way. So, overall, Alejandro pushed a good character further. He was awesome in World Tour, but he's only number 4 because of his performance in All Stars. Yeah, moving on to number 4 because I'm done talking about Alejandro. Owen is an enjoyable character and definitely deserves a spot on this list, but I can't say much about him because I'm limited on time for the video, and also because, like, I have stuff to do in real life. So, Owen is a very enjoyable character for many reasons. At first, I was kind of annoyed by him because of this freaking fart jokes, and, like, I honestly didn't think he deserved to win Island, and I still don't to this day, but he still was an enjoyable character and at least deserved to make it far in Island. I get the reason they had Owen win Island was as a reference to Survivor, where the fat guy in that one, forgot what his name was, but yeah. I don't think Owen really deserved to win Island, but I still think he deserved to make it far. He made it far in most of the seasons he competed in, well, all of them actually, making it to the merge every time. So Owen is an enjoyable character overall, and we're moving on to the next one. And what can I say about Heather? She was an enjoyable character, she was very manipulative, very good at what she did, and really made Island all the more interesting. I think without her, so many characters would have made farther than they should have, and I'm kind of glad she was an Island, because seeing people like Beth make it to the merge in Island would have made Total Drama not very enjoyable for me. I'm glad the writers created Heather, I'm glad that she's in the show. She was a really amazing character. I really thought she deserved to win World Tour if you watch my Total Drama World Tour my way, and I'll be honest, she deserves a runner-up on this spot. And one last honorable mention that I forgot to mention at the beginning of this video. Shoutouts to Mr. Coconut. Amazing character overall. Number 1 is Duncan. Yeah, if anyone's seen my Total Drama Island my way, they probably expected this. Duncan is my favorite character for a lot of reasons, and this is probably the longest entry on the list because I'm going to take a lot of time explaining why I love him as a character. He honestly, in my opinion, he is the Total Drama character who most broke out of his stereotype. And because he was the juvie punk in Island, and he was like so cool in Island, and he won action, he was automatically liked character for me. But what made him even better is in All Stars. How Duncan was in All Stars was one of the only reasons I was able to tolerate All Stars when I first watched it. Because Duncan broke out of his stereotype pretty quickly, and I personally loved that. I love when characters show a side of them that breaks out of their stereotype. And also, I just love Duncan in general. He was a great character. Ironically enough, that the bottom 2 on this list both dated the number 1 on this list. I don't know how I didn't realize that well in planning this video. Yeah, I think I'm going to be out of time soon, so I'm just going to go into it fast, like all his summaries. In Island, he was amazing, and I think he deserved to win. In Action, he was also good, but I don't think he deserved to win. I think that he was way too, like, plot-armored in the eliminations, just like how Ash Ketchum is in the Pokemon anime. In World Tour, cheating on Courtney, I'm not saying she deserved it, but I'm not saying that Duncan wasn't completely in the wrong here. In All Stars, honestly, this was probably one of my favorite performances out of him. Good work to Duncan, and he's my favorite Total Drama character ever. Yeah, this was my voice reveal. I want to say thank you, and let me know in the comments down below your predictions for Total Drama Pocket Island my way. Thank you, and I'll see you when I post again.